Ideally, it should be 50-50. Okay. So each parent has an equal responsibility over their children.
We've met Akoth and we've met Wanjiro, and these two women have left me with so many questions about what the court system and what the legal system has for them. Where do they get psychosocial support as they battle, one to keep her baby and the other one for support for her two boys? And we are at Crew, and we've been joined by Florence, who is an advocate of the High Court, and Nerea, you are a counselor.
Yes.
Florence, I think we start with you. And I think we start with Akoth's story. Her daughter's father wants custody. He's been increasingly abusive and mentally erratic from what she's told us. What happens there? Where do they even start? Yes.
So most of these cases are usually reported to the chief, and from the chief they're referred to the children's office. The children's office conducts a semblance of a mediation between the parties. They try agree. If both parties agree, then they sign a parental responsibility agreement,
okay,
which can be binding on both parties and can be used in court. If the parties don't agree, then they are then referred to Crew, and we take the case to court.
Okay. What about where there are mental health issues, like here with Akoth, where she's terrified of this man? He was terrorizing her when they were living together. He threatened her daughter 3 times. That's what made her leave. So now what? She'll be compelled to sit in a room with him.
Yes, and unfortunately, that's how the legal justice system works, because both parties must be heard. It doesn't matter whether he's mentally ill. They can do a mental assessment, and maybe he would be an unfit parent, but she does have to sit in the room and hear both sides of the story, okay, before a determination is made.
So I like what Crew is doing. You do both ends, the legal support and also the psychosocial support. If someone then does not honor that, what happens?
So some party may fail to comply, then the client is then referred to Crew. Crew, we take over the case. So we attempt another mediation. This is to just find out why there is non-compliance. Sometimes you can find someone lost their job. Okay. And so we look for ways to find an amicable solution to that before we take the matter to court. In most cases, the summons are not honored. The parents don't show up here. So you have a mother in distress, looking for justice, but the guy is not showing up. So the next step is to take the case to court.
Now to court?
Yes.
Okay.
That's in a lot of cases. A lot of people fail to comply with court orders, but they still have recourse in court. So we have what we call a notice to show cause, which we still go back to the same court and tell the judge or magistrate, this person is not complying with the orders you issued. Oh. So there's usually, you have options of either arrest of the person or
arrest?
You can, yes.
I didn't know you can be arrested for child support.
Yes,
okay.
You can. There's the option for arrest, and there's the option for attachment of the salary. So if this is an employed person, then it's easy to get attachment of salary. So the salary, when the deduction is done, it will go straight
like a loan.
For maintenance. Yes.
You pay Gava, then
yes.
you pay mom.
You pay your taxes,
okay.
yes.
I like that. Okay, okay.
So for non-salaried, it's usually easier to get because you can't attach a non-existent salary. We get warrants of arrest. So they can be arrested for about a year, depending, again, on the discretion of the court. The problem with getting an arrest is usually if this guy is arrested, you still don't get your money at the end of the day because he's in jail.
And now he really cannot work.
Yes, yeah.
So it's not a plus.
Yes.
And this is not something you want to do to the father of your children because your family at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Is there maintenance during the court process?
Yes, so at the beginning of the process, we usually also ask for interim orders. Before the full case is heard and determined. So we put out our case for why the application should be allowed for interim orders so that the child can survive. Remember, we are thinking about the best interest of the child. So this child is not going to wait for 9 months, then they are not chased from school, or 9 months, then they're okay, they can eat. Yes.
Yes.
So we get interim orders usually between, it can take as quick as 2 months, depending on the court process as well, 2 months to 4 months to get interim orders, yes.
2 months to 4 months.
Yes,
that's a term. That's a school term.
Yes.
What psychosocial support do you see these women need in the middle of this process? Because what I'm hearing is that it's emotionally very draining. Yes. How do you support the women?
we give counseling because it's traumatizing, you know, having gone through maybe violence, and then now you have to fight for the rights of your child at the same time with this particular person that was abusing you.
Okay, let me ask you from a legal standpoint. We've seen cases where men say, I've never met this woman before in my life. This is not my child. Usi wangu. What happens there?
Yeah, there are situations where definitely the man denies paternity. And in most cases, the court will order a DNA test for just to ensure that this person is the father of the child. So the DNA test is an additional cost that most people don't see through the legal process, but it's a cost that you'll have to incur to get the DNA test. But
who pays?
The court will determine who pays. So sometimes it's the man, but if the test is negative, then she'll have to refund him the money. Sometimes they're both. The court looks at the financial status of both parties before giving a clear determination. Sometimes they go half-half on the cost.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay, it's good you've said that. So now how does the court determine who will pay what for the child? When it comes to school fees, maintenance, all of this, how do they, everyone declares their income?
Yeah, so there's a process. Ideally, it should be 50-50. So each parent has an equal responsibility over their children. But the court will look at circumstances. What does the man do for a living? What does the woman do for a living? There's something we call an affidavit of means, which you put in as part of the documents that shows how much you earn in as much as you earn, what are the loans.
What if I lie?
You shouldn't lie under oath.
What if I lie?
Yeah, there's situations where they lie, but these tend to come out because then you're interviewed in court. You work at, say, K24. We know that a presenter earns this much, so why is yours looking
why you say
very
you
funny?
Earn
yes.
a small percentage?
Yes.
Oh,
so
okay.
These facts are well within the knowledge. So there are people have been sued, right from people. You'd say MPs all the way to a man who earns a daily wage. Okay. So the court looks at all those factors in determining the payment.
Okay, and then where is the money sent to? Say, for example, the baby daddy is now supposed to just M-Pesa the money or direct deposit? How?
In most cases, because it's situations where a relationship has broken down, so this is where advocates come in as intermediaries. So the money is usually sent through advocates. But if the parties are talking, as long as there's compliance and the children can benefit, then it can be a direct M-Pesa.
Oh, okay. So you have 400 cases in your books. I would say you actually have the biggest number of such cases in the country. Am I wrong about that?
Should be correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we've seen the courts are listening, right? These cases used to take years. Now I'm hearing we're talking in months. I was actually quite impressed by that. We have a new CJ. Do you have recommendations?
Yeah, definitely. I think that we've made advances in terms of the time that these cases take. They've listened. So children's matters are taken into consideration. So it would be more of training of judicial officers, not just the magistrates, but everyone within the system. So that, for instance, if it's getting an order which would take, okay, the court has granted this person to get certain maintenance. We get a ruling today, it takes us a month to obtain the order. So this needs to be, the whole justice system needs to be made aware of these issues.
Do we have restraining orders? Can somebody be compelled to pay maintenance even while you have a restraining order against them?
Yes, we definitely do. So there's a fairly new act, the Protection Against Domestic Violence Act. It's 2015. It does provide for a protection order, which is what everyone calls a restraining order.
Yes.
So we definitely...
American jargon.
Yes. So there are protection orders under Kenyan law, and yes, you can still, because the protection order is in essence restraining you from seeing me or being in my vicinity. However, we still have a child together, so there's still the maintenance that needs to be paid. So yes, they can work concurrently.
Ah, I like that.
I think one of the things with the restraining orders, we've had instances where, you know, nobody follows it up at some times, because when it's already been given, it's supposed to be implemented. But we've had instances where the person who is supposed to be restrained find their way back to the person, you know. So that has also been a challenge, because even the chiefs, the police who are supposed to be implementing it, they also struggle with it.
Oh, because both of you can violate the order together.
Yes.
You decide we're getting back together.
Either you're getting back together, or the person, the perpetrator, finds their way to where the person is. Yes.
Yeah, if I may just add, because this is an order, it's a paper you're given, you're told. Yeah. So it's not like there's a fence put around this person.
Yes.
So these guys, we've had guys jump over fences to come back and violate victims, because why have you taken me to court? Why do you have an order against me? So there's a challenge definitely in implementing these orders.
It's unpleasant, even as the father of the child, to now receive these demands for maintenance and everything. How, Nerea, do families come back from that?
Of course, there are those instances where the other person will feel like, yes, I made a mistake, I will want to go back. It has its risks and benefits. You've had instances where somebody really changes for real, take responsibilities, you know, goes for counseling. We had instances where we do therapy for both, for couple, and it actually works. But some don't work, because sometimes they can say, I want to change, but they don't change. It becomes even worse. Okay. So we also don't want to be, the person who now did the mediation, probably did counseling, then these people went back together, and then now the news that comes is not really a good news.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. The final question. CRU is not everywhere in Kenya, is it?
Yes. No.
So if I'm a woman in Isiolo, I'm in Marsabit, I need your services, is there a government equivalent? Is there a hotline? Is there something that we can call for support?
Yeah, so currently CRU has a toll-free number that we use, and
please share the number.
0800 720 186.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a hotline, so we definitely give legal advice. We can give you details on how to get justice within the area that you're reached. It's a 24-hour hotline, so you can call at any time. So we have a toll-free number. There are government agencies, for instance, NLAS, that also assist.
NLAS is National Legal Aid Services.
Yes.
Okay.
That assist in such matters. But for now, what we have is the toll-free number, and we do have certain pro bono lawyers who work with CRU in different areas, so we refer these cases to them as well for...
Oh, so you have like a pro bono network across the country.
Yes.
You guys are offering such a comprehensive thing, very well thought out.
We try.
We try. Okay, thank you very much. I think our time has run out. Asanteni sana, ladies. And yeah, thanks for having us.
Karibu sana.